What would you have me tell them? This isn't what we asked them to do.
We cannot simply ignore this. We must find a way.
And who put you in charge? We need a consensus or we have nothing.
Please, we must use reason. Without the infrastructure of the Inquisition, we're hobbled.
I can't come from nowhere.
She didn't say it could.
Enough! This is getting us nowhere.
Well, we're agreed on that much.
Shh. You need rest.
They've been at it for hours.
They have that luxury thanks to you. The enemy could not follow, and with time to doubt, we turn to blame. Infighting may threaten as much as this Corypheus.
Do we know where Corypheus and his forces are?
We are not sure where we are, which may be why, despite the numbers he still commands, there is no sign of him. That, or you are believed dead. Or without Haven, we are thought helpless. Or he girds for another attack. I cannot claim to know the mind of that creature, only his effect on us.
The only thing yelling gets us is a headache. Another headache.
They know. But our situation, your situation, is complicated. Our leaders struggle because of what we survivors witnessed. We saw our defender stand and fall. And now we have seen her return. The more the enemy is beyond us, the more miraculous your actions appear, and the more our trials seem ordained. That is hard to accept, no? What we have been called to endure, what we perhaps must come to believe.
I escaped the avalanche. Barely, perhaps, but I didn't die.
Of course, and the dead cannot return from across the veil. But the people know what they saw. Or perhaps what they needed to see. The Maker works both in the moment and in how it is remembered. Can we truly know the heavens are not with us?
You saw Corypheus. What do you think of his claims of assaulting the heavens?
Scripture says magisters, to winter servants of false-souled gods, entered the Fade to reach the Golden City, seat of the Maker. For their crime, they were cast out as Darkspawn. Their hubris is why we suffer blight, and why the Maker turned from us. If such is the claim of this Corypheus, he is a monster beyond imagining. All mankind continues to suffer for that sin. If even a shred of it is true, all the more reason Andraste would choose someone to rise against him.
Corypheus said he found only corruption and emptiness. Nothing golden.
If he entered that place, it has changed him without and within. The living are not meant to make that journey. Perhaps these are lies he must tell himself, rather than accept that he earned the scorn of the Maker. I know I could not bear such.
Mother Giselle, I just don't see how what I believe matters. Lies or not, Corypheus is a real physical threat. We can't match that with hope alone.
Shadows fall and hope has fled. Still your heart, the dawn will come. The night is long and the path is dark. Look to the sky, for one day soon the dawn will come. The shepherd's lost, and his home is far. Keep to the stars, the dawn An army needs more than an enemy. It needs a cause.
A word. A wise woman, worth heeding. Her kind understand the moments that unify a cause. Or fracture it. The orb Corypheus carried, the power he used against you, it is Elven. Corypheus used the orb to open the breach. Unlocking it must have caused the explosion that destroyed the Conclave. I do not yet know how Corypheus survived, nor am I certain how people will react when they learn of the orb's origin.
All right. What is it and how do you know about it?
They were foci, used to channel ancient magics. I have seen such things in the Fade, old memories of older magic. Corypheus may think it Tevinter. His empire's magic was built on the bones of my people. Knowing or not, he risks our alliance. I cannot allow it.
This whole mess is confusing. I can see how elves might be an easy target.
History would agree. But there are steps we can take to prevent such a distraction. By attacking the Inquisition, Corypheus has changed it. Changed you. Scout to the north. Be their guide. There is a place that waits for a force to hold it. There is a place where the Inquisition can build, grow.
They arrive daily from every settlement in the region. Skyhold is becoming a pilgrimage. If word has reached these people, it will have reached the Elder One. We have the walls and numbers to put up a fight here, but this threat is far beyond the war we anticipated. But we now know what allowed you to stand against Corypheus, what drew him to you.
He came for this, and now it's useless to him, so he wants me dead. That's it.
The Anchor has power, but it's not why you're still standing here. Your decisions let us heal the sky. Your determination brought us out of Haven. You are the creature's rival because of what you did. And we know it. All of us. The Inquisition requires a leader. The one who has already been leading it. You.
Perhaps I didn't hear you correctly. A mage at the head of the Inquisition.
Not a mage. You.
I happen to be a mage.
I will not pretend no one will object, but times are changing. Perhaps this is what the Maker intended. There would be no Inquisition without you. How it will serve, how you lead, that must be yours to decide.
With fear running rampant, they need to see a mage standing for what is right. I'll defeat Corypheus standing with them, not over them.
Wherever you lead us. Have our people been told?
They have. And soon, the world.
Commander, will they follow?
Inquisition, will you follow? Will you fight? Will we triumph? Your leader, your herald, your Inquisitor! So this is where it begins.
It began in the courtyard. This is where we turned that promise into action. But what do? We know nothing about this Corypheus except that he wanted your mark.
Corypheus wants to restore Tevinter. Is this a prelude to war with the Imperium?
I get the feeling we're dealing with extremists, not the vanguard of a true invasion.
Tevinter is not the Imperium of 1,000 years ago. What Corypheus yearns to restore no longer exists. Though they would shed no tears if the South fell to chaos, I'm certain.
Corypheus said he wanted to enter the Black City, that this would make him a god.
He is willing to tear this world apart to reach the next. It won't matter if he's wrong.
What if he's not wrong? If he finds some other way into the Fade?
Then he gains the power he seeks, or unleashes catastrophe on us all.
Could his dragon really be an archdemon? What would that mean?
It would mean the beginning of another blight. We've seen no darkspawn other than Corypheus himself. Perhaps it's not an archdemon at all, but something different?
Whatever it is, it's dangerous. Commanding such a creature gives Corypheus an advantage we can't ignore.
Someone out there must know something about Corypheus.
Unless they saw him on the field, most will not believe he even exists.
We do have one advantage. We know what Corypheus intends to do next. In that strange future you experienced, Empress Selene had been assassinated. Imagine the chaos her death would cause. With his army.
An army he'll bolster with a massive force of demons, or so the future tells us.
Corypheus could conquer the entire south of Thedas, god or no god. I'd feel better if we knew more about what we were dealing with.
I know someone who can help with that. Everyone acting all inspirational jogged my memory, so I sent a message to an old friend. She's crossed paths with Corypheus before and may know more about what he's doing. She can help.
I'm always looking for new allies. Introduce me.
Parading around might cause a fuss. It's better for you to meet privately, on the battlements. Trust me, it's complicated.
Well, then, we stand ready to move on both of these concerns.
On your order, Inquisitor.
I know one thing. If Varric has brought who I think he has, Cassandra is going to kill him.
This is the Inquisition. A dusty old ruin filled with battered soldiers.
If you shut your mouth and open your eyes, you'd see that the Inquisition is our one hope.
Oh, so much happens all at once. I do like the scene in the mountaintop where they're all singing. It reminded me of Liliana's song back in the first game. Kind of a way to reflect and kind of gain some camaraderie amongst everybody who's been through the ordeal thus far. And apparently, Solas has been holding out on us. He knew about this whole fortress, and only now decides to tell us. So on the one hand, you might think, why didn't you tell us this sooner? We could have, made this place our home instead. But I think, to be fair, I think Solas was still unsure about the Inquisition and the people that were in it. So I think this revelation of Skyhold was his way of kind of saying, okay, now I'm all in, kind of thing. I trust you guys not to misuse this ancient elven fortress that's been hidden from the world, and to not, try to conquer everything or something like that. And sure enough, Aurora has been made the official leader.
Now, what did they make down here, and what can I make?
She is the official Inquisitor. And that means from now on, everyone will be looking to her for kind of the final call. As far as decisions go. Here we have our storage. It's empty. Basically, you can put whatever you want in there. For example, if you have weapons that that are really good but you can't use yet because you're not at a high enough level, you can put them in here, and that will save space for you to collect other things as you explore around. This is the Undercroft. It's kind of like a basement. It actually sits right beneath the throne room. And it's kind of cool because not only is it a forge, there's all kinds of ventilation and other things that are used for the forge, but it also has a huge viewing window out the back side of Skyhold and out to the surrounding mountains. But this is basically where all of the potions and weapons and armor upgrades, all that kind of stuff.
Where's my other hand? Right there.
And Herod is here.
I've walked away from too many burning buildings for one lifetime. This place, though, it'll be all right. It's Inquisitor now, isn't it? That'll take some getting used to.
You think it's strange to say. It's stranger to hear.
Don't let it go to your head. We need you level. Everyone just got a big, hard reason to hate Corypheus. And we already did, but we didn't have a name. You're the surprise, not him.
We left in a hurry, but you got into your old place. Save anything?
Family hammer. It's as stupid as it sounds. It's good to be back at work.
All that to make sure he got his traditional hammer.
How is this place shaping up as a forge?
Better than Haven ever could be. Not the way I wanted an upgrade, but ever forward.
You've got it all up and running.
Your basics, like always. There's space here for, I don't know what. This place was built for something big. It'll be a job to fill it.
Have you any thoughts about the people we lost at Haven?
Shame about Adan. Experience like that, you can't just find. Didn't like Segret. Didn't want him dead, though. The rest of us go on. is what we have to do. You gave us the chance. Thanks for that.
I'll be back later.
I'll be here.
Any special shipments? We do. You get another round of specialized armor. Again, I think that's just because of the version of the game I bought. You also have an extra desk here besides the normal ones called Skyhold Customization. And this one allows you to change the local banners. If there is a certain what do I want to say? A certain faction, that's what I want to say. A certain faction that you want to show the Inquisition support for, you can have that flying instead of the traditional Inquisition banners. Because she is from the Free Marches, and because of what's about to happen pretty soon, just for kicks, I'll switch it over to Free March banners. You can find different kinds of beds for the Inquisitor's room. As the leader of the Inquisition, you get a really luxurious suite up in the height of the main keep. You can, there's choices for draperies, for heraldry, for decor. You can really make this whole thing yours in terms of all the decorations. Something to do so that, if you're in between missions or you don't feel like doing a mission at the time, it's pretty cool. This is the main throne, where the Inquisitor will sit and give judgment. I have to say I do like the traditional design, though. It's a bit aggressive, but, suits, I think, for the most part. There's a lot I haven't unlocked yet. Alright, back up top we go. Now, Haven was already fairly sizable, but it was simply a small chantry for pilgrims on the way to the Temple of Sacred Ashes. This is a full-fledged fortress, and the scale of it does reflect it. And so it is a huge place, to the point where, as you can see here, there are fast travel markers so that you can get around it a little bit quicker. I believe this goes into the war room, but Josephine's office is here, so we can say hi to her.
I've made some inquiries into the Imperial Court. The sooner we deal with the threats to the Empress, the better. The political situation in the Empire is dangerously unstable. It will complicate matters.
Everything in the Empire complicates matters. It's the Orlesian national pastime.
Turn your nose up at the grand game if you like, Commander, but we play for the highest stakes, and to the death.
The Court's disapproval can be as great a threat as the Venatori. We must be vigilant to avert disaster.
Exactly what do you mean? How is it more dangerous than usual?
The Empress is in the middle of a civil war. Her cousin, Grand Duke Gaspard, seeks to take her throne by force. Leliana reports that a group of elves has been sabotaging both armies, drawing out the hostilities. Orlais holds Tevinter at bay. All of Thedas could be lost if the Empire falls to Corypheus. Celine is holding peace talks under the auspices of a grand masquerade. Every power in Orlais will be there. It's the perfect place for an assassin to hide.
A grand masquerade? I need to go shopping.
I'll arrange for an invitation at your discretion, Inquisitor.
And that will be our next big quest. But, of course, we're going to explore around Skyhold first.
Inquisitor, I was just inspecting our new headquarters. Foundation cracks, nesting animals, and miles from any centers of civilization. The staff must make it presentable if we're to receive any visitors of distinction.
It certainly wouldn't do for the Inquisition to appear overly shabby.
We've only just now convinced everyone we are precisely what Thedas requires. The mages are showing great trust in you. They need to feel safe here.
Do you not feel safe here?
I've had difficulty forgetting Corypheus's attack on Haven. Do you know who first leapt to arms? Our workers. They were so proud of our cause. Corypheus simply cut them down. So much screaming after that first blast of fire. So many people turned to ash.
I keep feeling that fire's heat on the back of my neck, too.
Indeed. But you're the one who led us to safety. Well, before I return to my duties, allow me to congratulate you on your appointment as Inquisitor, my lady. I will now bring diplomatic issues to your attention, and I'm more than happy to help with any situations that arise.
I'm loath to part from such pleasant company. Would you care to walk the castle with me?
Oh, well, a tour then? Let me fetch the steward.
That isn't precisely what I was hoping for.
Well, do let me know if you change your mind. Now I must find someone to prepare the guest quarters.
You may have guessed already, but of all the romance options, Josephine is the most clueless when it comes to flirting with her.
Inquisitor, is it true? Is the mark on your hand magic cast by Corypheus?
Corypheus claimed it's a spell gone wrong.
I wanted to think it was a blessing. A sign the Maker was returning to his creation. How credulous of me.
Oh, let's give her a little confidence.
Perhaps the Maker set these events in motion so long ago we can no longer see his hand in them.
It would be fitting if that were true. Does it hurt? The anchor, that is.
It's not pain. It's more like my nerves go on fire.
It sounds most unpleasant.
Oh, guess we'll have to come back if we want any more conversation there. Oh, good. I did remember correctly. Yeah. So this is the war room. Much bigger table to work with now. You can tell little hints around that this fortress used to be elven. For example, the table is carved out of a giant tree trunk. We have, now that we've entered like the center.
We discussed earlier, Ambassador.
I found the money. The Inquisition will compensate the families of those we lost at Haven.
Thank you.
Since we've reached the kind of second half of the game now, lots of things unlock that previously were not available. All right, the rumors about the Divine Justinia's death being an Inquisition plot. Ambassador, I very much enjoyed your soiree, and I hope to see you at the summer cottage for our picnic luncheon next month. Do not fret about the ghastly things said at your associates. More reasoned heads will prevail, and this foolish gossip will come to nothing. All right, so we're quelling those rumors. All right, military assistance for the university. To the leaders of the Inquisition, it was glorious, I tell you. Mother Havera stood in my office and apologized. Actually apologized for any inconvenience I or my colleagues have suffered. Considering the derision with which her ilk have treated us, hearing her assurances that further rhetoric against the university will be heavily sanctioned was a pleasure. Regardless of whether or not it holds once the Divine is elected, I offer the Inquisition my thanks and have sent along a few items our professors thought might be of interest. Let me get some nice armor out of that. We also have a lot more locations that we can go to. And again, it's something that, I kind of occasionally I look over on the wiki, and I just remind myself what the missions are and whether or not they'd be worth to do them on camera. Let's see. Lake Celestine. This is an exclusively Josephine mission. A page from Travels of a Chantry Scholar lies on the table. The passage is circled. The region between Lake Celestine and the shores of the Waking Sea is known as the Heartlands, a place of vineyards and gilded marble estates the locals refer to as cottages. It is often said that Orlay's heart is plated with gold, and so it seems fitting that the Heartlands is perhaps the richest place outside of Valraillot. A note is written at the bottom of the page. Comte de Maurier and Marquis Courtemans, both spending money like water. Which to pursue? Josephine says, Comte de Maurier is a distant relation of the Empress. We should speak with him first. So try to get more Orlesian nobility support here. Meanwhile, over in Ferelden, reclaiming the Mage Rebellion. This is a Cullen one. Fiona, we got word out to everyone we could, but some cells were too remote to reach. We'll need the Inquisition to contact them, at least to let them know the Templars are gone. They are gone, right? Right? Signed someone named Sketch. So yes, we technically do not have all of the mages from the Mage Rebellion yet, because a lot of them are still scattered in pockets around Thedas. So we'll have Cullen help sort them out, see if I can get them to Skyhold. Let's see. Lots of these require people who are already working. Oh, that's because Liliana... Oh, yeah, because Liliana is already still doing a mission. That's right. All right. So that's it for now. We'll continue looking around Skyhold. See what other missions we have here. Just have rune crafting. Recruiting an Arcanist will allow the Inquisitor to craft runes and enhance weapons and armor. Recruit an Arcanist at the war table. Oh. Can we do that now, I wonder? Let's see if that requires one of our advisors or not. If it does require an advisor, we'll have to do it later. Let's see. Oh, acquire an Arcanist. Yeah.
It was abandoned when we arrived.
Okay.
Who named this place Skyhold?
Solas says it changed hands so many times, the original builders can't be traced.
I read the House of Armitage once built a fortress in the vicinity 5 ages ago, but the records are lost.
So a lot of mystery surrounding Skyhold. So as soon as we have a agent available, we'll recruit an Arcanist. And we'll be able to put runes in some of our weapons, give them magical advantages. Just like in the previous games. Oh. So many places I could go, but I'm kind of itching to meet with Varric's friend. Many of you may know who his friend is. Oh, also, speaking of, the main hall there, everything looks in disrepair. There's two things you can do. There are specific things that you can acquire to kind of make this place look more elegant and shipshape.
Look at this place. It's a bloody palace.
Yep, pretty fancy. The other thing you can do is just as you progress through the story, basically things get cleaned up. And when they do, it really starts to look like the Inquisition's headquarters instead of just a fortress ruin.
Majestic. How is a place like this ever lost?
Yeah, you might wonder that. But then again, if you look at the surroundings here, I mean, there's alpine, like, mountains. I mean, look how high these are. And they're everywhere. So I could potentially see this being cut off from the rest of Thedas for a very long time, just because of the geography. Alright, there's Varric. So when we get up there, we'll be able to meet his friend. However, I'm going to make a cut here. So I'll be back in just a moment.
Inquisitor, meet Hawk, the champion of Kirkwall.
Though I don't use that title much anymore.
Hawk, the Inquisitor. I figured you might have some friendly advice about Corypheus. You and I did fight him, after all.
You've already dropped half a mountain on the bastard. I'm sure anything I can tell you pales in comparison.
Oh, I don't know. You did save a city from a horde of rampaging Kunari.
I don't see how that really applies. Or is there a horde of rampaging Kunari I don't know about?
There's a Kunari. He almost qualifies as a horde all by himself. Fortunately, he's on our side.
So, then, what can I tell you?
Varric said that you fought Corypheus before.
Fought and killed. The Grey Wardens were holding him, and he somehow used his connection to the Darkspawn to influence them.
Corypheus got into their heads, messed with their minds, turned them against each other.
If the Wardens have disappeared, they could have fallen under his control again.
So Corypheus has the Venatori, the Red Templars, and now possibly the Wardens as well. Wonderful.
I didn't come this far just to give you bad news. I've got a friend in the Wardens. He was investigating something unrelated for me. His name is Stroud. The last time we spoke, he was worried about corruption in the Warden ranks. Since then, nothing.
Corypheus would certainly qualify as corruption in the ranks. Did your friend disappear with them?
No. He told me he'd be hiding in an old smuggler's cave near Crestwood.
If you didn't know about Corypheus, what were you doing with the Wardens?
The Templars in Kirkwall were using a strange form of lyrium. It was red. I'd hoped the Wardens could tell me more about it.
Corypheus had Templars with him at Haven. They looked like they'd been exposed to the lyrium you describe.
Hopefully, my friend in the Wardens will know more.
I'll take any lead I can get at the moment.
Good. I'll do whatever I can to help. Corypheus is my responsibility. I thought I'd killed him before. This time I'll make sure of it. Inquisitor.
It's Hawk. She's back. And the reason I had that cut there was because when you come up to the battlements with Varric, you have a chance to customize Hawk so that she looks as close as how you wanted her to look. So I tried to make her look as close as I could to where we last saw her. She has the same armor. I tried to give her the same bright bluish eye color that we had back in Dragon Age 2. And for some reason, the eye tattoo that she had in the previous game, they didn't have it here. I'm not sure why. So I gave the closest equivalent that I could find.
I heard you had family and friends in Kirkwall. Where are they now?
When the Wardens began acting strangely, I had my friend Aveline take my sister out of the Free Marches. Fenris would have killed himself to protect me. I didn't want to give him that chance.
Oh, so she's sort of hiding from Fenris right now. Poor guy.
I assume Varric's been feeding you information about the Inquisition. What did he say about me?
Only good things, I promise. I was a little surprised, actually. Varric isn't one for religion in general, but he thinks highly of the Inquisition. I think the exact phrase was, has a good shot at fixing Blondie's mess.
Yeah, it makes me wonder, where is Blondie right now? A.k.a. Anders.
You said you thought you killed Corypheus.
The Grey Wardens had him imprisoned. They used my father's blood in a ritual to seal Corypheus inside. But he could still reach out and influence the Warden's thoughts. He sent them after me. And I didn't just think I killed him. When the fight was done, he was dead on the ground. Maybe his tie to the Blight somehow brought him back, or maybe it's old Tevinter magic, but he was dead, I swear it.
And where did you go after the mages rebelled?
I heard the Chantry might be sending an exalted march to Kirkwall to put down the rebellion. I hoped that leaving would save lives and force the Divine to divide her forces to come after me. As it turned out, I needn't have bothered. All the circles started rising up, and the exalted march never came.
I'd like to know more about Anders. What was he like?
I don't know if there ever was just an Anders. He was crazy. By the end, there was nothing left in him, except this insane need to start a war no one could win.
Indeed. We saw that tragedy play out.
We'll talk later.
I'll meet you at Crestwood.
Yeah. And I think this is your one shot to speak with her, because I think after you start moving through the story again, she disappears and you don't see her again until you go to Crestwood, which will kick off the next big mission after we deal with Empress Celine and the Orlesian Civil War. So hold on. We'll get a shot here. Oops. See if I can. Oh, trying to have them stand side by side here. There we go. I think that's the closest I can get. There you go. 2 Dragon Age heroes in the same shot. Both of them look thrilled. It's fun. This is actually what I was hoping that they would do either in Dragon Age 2 or in this game with the original hero, Warden Vexus. I thought that maybe he'd show up. I mean, yeah, he didn't have a voice in the first game. I mean, I had to provide the voice. But so what? You know, give him some talented voice actor to play his voice, and I wouldn't care. You know, because there he would be, you know. And you'd get a chance to customize him just like I did for Hawk, and then, you know, you'd have all 3 or something like that. Unfortunately, I don't want to raise any expectations. We will not be seeing Vexus in person in this game, although we will have some contact with him. But at least we do get to meet with Hawk, which is certainly welcome. And we'll get to interact with her in one of the major missions here. Okay, so when we come back for the next recording session, we will finish exploring Skyhold. I'll try to be as thorough as I can. And then we will head out to see if we can nip this Orlesian Civil War in the bud before it ends up destroying the Empire. So, until next time, fellow adventurers, take care.